Hello, Peter here, and in this video we're going to be going over how to create a blog post within WordPress. Blogging is a staple of WordPress. It's the best way to bring new users to your website by doing content marketing. Now, content marketing is a subject for another time, but we're going to go over just how to post to your WordPress blog. So first, you want to make sure that you log into your WordPress website. You can see our previous videos on how to log into your WordPress backend. Next, we want to go to the left here under Posts, and we can click right to Add New Post. From here, we'll be greeted with what is referred to as the WordPress Block Editor, or as some may call it, the Gutenberg Editor. So it's a fairly straightforward editor. Immediately at the top, we are able to add our blog title. So I'll just put in a demo post for our title. Then we can just click in the area below to start adding in our content. Now you'll note every time you go to a new line, there is a little plus sign to add a different type of block. This is the same plus sign that you see at the top here. If you click this button, you'll be able to select from any number of WordPress's existing block types. So for instance, if you want to add a heading, you can select the heading block and then type in your subtitle. I can click the block again, and I can even add an image. This gives me the ability to upload a new image or pick an image from my media library. When I click on that, that will bring up the Select or Upload Media, where I can still upload media through this tab here, or click on Media Library to select one of my existing images from my media library. So I can just click on an image, and then in the bottom right, hit Select to add it to the actual blog post. I'm going to click to add another block. And your blocks can also help with laying content out. If you go to Layout Elements, you'll see the ability to even add a Media with Text Next to It block, as well as other types of buttons or columns. So for example, if I use this Media and Text block, I can add content here, including paragraph, as well as select from my media library an image to go next to it. And there we are. So you can add any number of types of content, including embeddable content. So under Add Block, if you scroll down, there is also content embeds. Here you can embed content from some of the most popular sources online, including a YouTube video, Facebook posts, SoundCloud soundbites, Instagram posts, Twitter, or any other number of embeds if you have the embed code. You can also just copy-paste any kind of URL from YouTube, for instance, and you will be able to actually see that video. So if I paste from YouTube, a video will immediately get embedded into your blog post. Now, you can still edit any of your actual content blocks just by selecting them, and you'll see a bar at the top with a number of editing options. Now, all of these are specific to the block that you added. So for the image with text next to it block, I can flip where the actual image and text is, as well as transform this block into just an image or a group. The same goes for your regular paragraph blocks. You can actually bold, italicize, or add links by selecting some text and clicking on the little chain link to add a link to the text. So I can just paste in a link here. And if I wanted to open it up in a new tab, I can click on the little link settings drop down here and select Open a New Tab. You can also see many options over on the right here for modifying any block. So these change depending on which block you have selected. So definitely explore around, select different blocks, and see what options you have here. There's far too many to go over in just this video, but it's always good to explore. Next, we want to actually categorize our blog post. So I'm going to go to the Document tab. Here are all of the settings relative to the blog post as a whole. Some important settings that you'll want to take into account is making sure that you add a category for your blog. So if I go to categories here, I can see I don't have that many categories. You can click Add New Category and add a category for this blog, such as this is a training post. And I'll click Add Category, and now I can categorize this blog under training. You can also add tags for a post. Typically, tags are more of your micro categorization. So you want to tag it with anything that is actually inside this post. So this post has forest. And what I can do is I can click the comma to immediately add that tag and then start typing in my new tag, comma. Now, below the categories and tags, there is the featured image. This is the image that would show up in your blog role. So it's very important to set an image, as this is going to be what catches your users' eyes when they are actually going through your WordPress blog. So you can just click Set Featured Image, and you can select an image from your existing media library, or click Upload File to select a file from your computer. I'm just going to select this image here and go Set Featured Image. And there we go. Now below that, you have the option to add an excerpt. So typically, your site will have a blog page that will have a list of all of your blog posts and just a short little snippet of content for intriguing the users to actually click and read more. Now by default, WordPress will pull the first couple paragraphs from your actual content, but if you don't want it to use that in order to entice your users to come and read this blog, that's where you can add in your own excerpt, where this will be what shows in the actual blog role, or what's referred to as your archive pages for your blog posts. That can be a short little snippet to intrigue users to click and read more about this blog post. So a short snippet. Now, if you are all ready to actually publish your blog post, we can go up to the top, and first thing I'm going to just check is in the permalinks tab is that I do have a good permalink set. So this is the actual link to your blog post once it's published. So if you're all ready to publish your blog, we can go up to the top, and in the status and visibility options, you can pick whether or not this blog post will be public, or you can set it to private, in which only logged in users such as site admins and editors will be able to view it, or password protected, so only those with the password can view it. You can also choose when to publish it. So publishing immediately will, immediately publish it as soon as I push the publish button, but I can also schedule a post in advance. And then that way I can keep working on it until that date, or make sure that it's lined up with some other kind of special date. I'll just change this to immediately, or today. Now, below that we have the post formats. So typically you can just leave this as standard, but you can also change it to one of the different formats as supported by your actual WordPress blog. So if this is a video-based post, you can set the format to video, and then this will typically change the thumbnail when people are scrolling through your blog roll or archive page to an actual video. Now this is dependent on whether or not your theme actually supports this. Sticky posts, or stick to top of blog, will make sure that no matter how old this post is, it will stay at the top of your blog. Pending review will make it so that this post will not actually be published until another editor or site admin comes in to review it. You can also change the author of this blog post if you have multiple authors and you want to attribute it to one of them. And if you do not like your blog post, you can simply move it to the trash. So with all of that said, we can go up to the top and we can choose what we want to finally do with this blog post. If I need to work on it later, I can simply save a draft and come back to this blog post later, and it will not be public on the site. I can also click the preview option here to see what this blog post will look on my actual website. So WordPress will generate a preview for you of your blog post. And we can see the actual category for the blog, its title, and all the content that we added to this blog post. So if all looks good, I can simply click publish to publish this blog post to my website. It'll give me one last double check before I click publish again. And now the blog post is being published to the front end of the website. Once the blog post has fully published, you will get a full link to your actual blog post, complete with the actual title being the permalink. Now, if you want to go back and edit any of your past blog posts or see a list of your blog posts, over on the left-hand menu, you can go back to All Posts. And here you will see a list of all your posts, including the one that we just created. You can click on the title or the edit button to go in and edit any post. Quick Edit allows you to quickly just change small things such as the title, categories, or add in any tags to your blog post. And you can also delete blog posts from here by simply hitting the trash button. You can also click View to go and view your blog posts on the front end. If you are logged in and viewing any content on the front end, you can easily edit it by going to your admin bar at the top and clicking Edit Post. This will take you right back to edit your post. So I hope that helps in how to post to your WordPress blog. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to us at lifebloodmarketing.ca.